and many of you know I'm planning a trip to Arizona as a photography adventure, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to share a little bit about the trip and then show you what's in my bag so you know how I'm planning for the trip and how you can plan for the trip also. First of all, we're going to be flying into Phoenix, stay there overnight as we will be getting in late in the day. Then we'll be going up north into the Grand Canyon, spending 2 to 3 days there. I want many opportunities to catch the sunrises and sunsets, and then we'll do some hiking and some horseback riding along the ridge also. And then what we were going to do, we were going to go west into Havasu Falls, but I realized that it would take extra licensing. You have to get a reservation for hiking, and it's about an 8-mile hike into the falls. So we won't be doing that. Instead, we'll be going east to Page, Arizona, where we'll be able to see Antelope Canyon, and many of you have seen the incredible images of the Horseshoe Bend area. We'll capture that, and maybe we'll sneak up north to Monument Valley also. We might have just enough time to get up there. We'll let you know on that. Finally, we'll be coming down to Sedona, Arizona, to catch some of the vistas there. They're just some incredible vistas and incredible hikes. One thing to remember and keep in mind is I'm a photographer who likes to get the very most out of the very least equipment. So there's a couple of concepts there. I want to spend the least because the photography industry is very difficult right now. So all of you have seen those people that have all the latest and greatest of the best equipment, but you've never seen a good picture from them. So there are the people with incredible equipment that can't shoot. I want to be the person with great equipment or good equipment that can shoot, and I want to teach you to do the same thing. You have to be able to get the best bang for the buck in the photography industry now. So for this trip, I still have to decide if I'm taking one bag or two. I have two different types of bags here. Let me show you quick. I love this bag. It's a low pro bag. It's perfect size for hiking, and it's got all the great compartments for all your lenses, everything you'll need. So this is a really great bag for hiking. One of the things that I like is you can hang your tripod along the side here with this compartment, and of course you will always have your tripod, right? That's the best way to get the best images, especially sunrise, sunset time frame. Look at all these great compartments. You have compartments for your pens, easy access compartments on this side also for taking notes. If you're going to be documenting your trip, you'll have paperwork, you'll have pens and pencils, all kinds of great compartments for your great flashlights that you'll need, especially when you're out and about at night. So this is a really great backpack, super light, great compartments. It has been relatively waterproof for me. If you're in a torrential rain, you should get a plastic bag or something to cover it. But for the most part, very tight and comfortable and easy to carry. So that's one great bag. If you're going to be doing smaller day trips, this bag is great for carrying just the bare essentials. It's got 4 compartments for your most important lenses and a total of 6 compartments, but I end up putting the lenses in 4 and I put batteries and other things in the other ones. And you have lots of lens cleaners and those kinds of things. Okay? So I mentioned the tripod for a moment. Let's take a quick look at the tripod. This is just a cheap little thing that I bought years ago, but it's done when I've needed it to do. Basically hold my camera stable, and you'll want to do the same thing. The best of the best images are created from multiple images put together, but you're able to do that by taking multiple exposures with your camera stabilized, focusing on one scene at a time. So you will absolutely want your tripod. Now let's start taking a look at the camera and the lenses that I'll be taking along on the trip. I'm in the Canon realm, so I have a Canon 5D Mark II. That's been my old workhorse. It's been a great camera for me. And I'll use it till it dies, frankly. In my world, I think camera bodies are mostly throwaway, replaceable. It's the lenses that you really want to put some time and money into. And my main workhorse lens, I have two main workhorse lenses. Being I'm a landscape photographer, I want that wider view most of the time. So my lens that's on my camera 80% of the time is the 24-105 L series lens. It's on the camera right now. I'm using it to record this now, so I can't show you, just pretend. But the next lens is a phenomenal lens. It's this 14mm, very wide L series lens. It is so wide that it's able to get so much of the scene in, so you don't have to pan. You can use it to pan, or you can use the 24-105 to pan to get some incredible effects also. But this lens alone can get so much into the scene, and it's really beautiful because it reduces the distortion. This is a very expensive lens, and I'm happy to be able to use this kind of quality lens. It's really great for incredible landscape photography. This is the one area where I will spend to get the kind of images that I want to get. A couple of other images, other lenses, sorry. I do bring my 85mm prime along. This is generally a portrait lens, but I also use it for, it's not quite macro photography, but I want that very narrow depth of field and relatively close shots sometimes, so I will bring that along. It's a very high quality lens also, but easy to carry and small enough. Then I have this really cheap junky lens in reality. It's a Quanta-Ray, so it's really junky, but it still allows me to do what I need it to do. It's a zoom lens, so if I need to capture the goat on the mountainside, I can zoom in with this lens. But it's also got a macro switch on it, so if I do want to capture some macro photography, this enables me to create that bokeh effect where you have a very narrow depth of field and everything behind it is out of focus. So I can zoom into something and get an incredible effect. So even though this is a relatively terrible lens, I bring it anyway, just to give me those two things. Keep in mind, we always want to bring our manual or have access to it online or whatever. There are going to be those situations where there's something that you want to do and you just can't remember how to do it. Have your manual available so you can do those things. Let's take a look at a couple of other things you'll want to have. Flashlights. I mentioned the one from the bag. Here's another one. This one doesn't have any batteries. You just have to move it like this to charge the inner workings of it. So you never have to worry about batteries, and it's an LED, so you won't burn out the light bulb. But it's very convenient and wonderful to have along with you. Batteries galore. All kinds of batteries. You'll be using up batteries like crazy, so have the batteries, but also bring your charger along. This doesn't need to be with you in the bag at all, but you'll want to bring it along on the trip. So you'll every evening charge up all your batteries so you can go out for the whole day and have all the energy that you need for the day. Lens cleaners. I've got some of my images printed on some lens cleaners. These are microcloth. You want to keep busy throughout the day. This will be a very dusty area. Keep your lenses clean, back on the inside and on the front also. So have lots of microcloth cleaners with you. On my camera, my tripod is a cheap little tripod, so it did not have the leveler. You're able to go online and get little levelers. This is simply, it's got the bubble floating in the liquid, so it's both horizontally and vertical. It just slides right into your flash bracket in your camera, and it allows you to see if you're horizontal. It cuts down on post-processing for your images because they're already vertical and horizontal, all correct, so it's a great thing to have. If you're going to be doing macro or into some dark areas, go ahead and bring that flash, especially if you have the room. So I have a nice flash, the 580EX, and I have a diffuser also. You never want to be shooting straight at an object and getting it too bright and giving that weird flash effect. So I have a diffuser. that I bring along also, and that's why this backpack is so great, because I can easily get the flash and the diffuser in that bag. And of course, if you're going to have a flash, you want to have all kinds of extra batteries. These could be rechargeable, or just have a big container of batteries to have along with you. Also, on my camera, I have a special microphone, the Sennheiser microphone. It's great. It's a directional mic, and there are others out there also. But if you're going to do any videotaping while you're out in these gorgeous locations telling about your trip, you'll want a great mic, not just the on-camera mic, a directional mic that'll cut out all the noise around you, or help cut that out, cut out the wind and those kinds of effects. So bringing along a mic is a great thing to have. For more cleaning material, you might want the lens cleaning kit that has the little air blower that blows some air if you take your lens off, and blows a little air on the inside, and then you can brush off the inside a little bit. Again, you're going to be in a very dusty area, so you might want to have that, keep that in mind. Your polarizer. I use polarizers all the time outside. There's both sides, for glare, if it's too bright, but also to make your sky gorgeously blue. And you can adjust the polarizer to make it really richly, deeply blue, or slightly less. So it's a circular polarizer, changes the effect. But I would highly recommend bring along a polarizer. I also have a kit of neutral density filters. There will be times where maybe you'll want to be shooting water, a waterfall or something like that, and it'll be bright outside. You want to bring down the amount of light so that you can make the water into more milky effects, so smooth and milky. You do that by reducing the amount of light that you're shooting in, and you do that with neutral density filters. Or there are other times when you want to graduate it, so the sky is too bright, the lower area of the scene is darker, so you want to darken the sky. You'll do that with neutral density filters and different filters. This is just a cheap filter kit, but it does exactly what I need it to do. So something you might consider. You don't need that all the time, but it's nice to have. You will want, this is like the old mechanical releases on the camera. So again, as your camera's on your tripod, you want to reduce shake, you want to get the sharpest image possible. You can have a simple little remote, and this just plugs right into your camera, and you can fire images. You can also do some great time-lapse photography with some of these. These are really great to have, so something to look into. This happens to be the newer, the brand is newer. There are all kinds of brands out there that you can use. Sometimes, if I know I'm going to be in dark areas, I'll actually clip on this reflector. It's a relatively large reflector, oftentimes used for portrait photography, but it shrinks down to a relatively small size. I will bring this along so I can reflect light onto flowers or small objects. So this one's kind of large. There might be a smaller one that you might want to bring, but something to consider. You might want to have a reflector along. So you don't have to use your flash for some of the macro photography. You can just use a reflector, and they do a great job. And some other cloths and things to clean your lenses. Again, it's important to keep your lenses clean. And with a swabber, you could also actually clean your mirror inside your camera if you're getting dust inside that. So something you might want to consider having there. So I hope that information was helpful for you, and I don't know about you, but I'm getting very excited about this trip. And you won't be able to come along with me for this particular one, but in the future I'm planning more trips that you'll actually be able to come along. So start gathering the stuff you'll need to be able to come on that trip. And if you look in the links down below in the video, you'll see the plans for the trip, and then you'll be able to follow on the blog also from day to day while we're on the trip, what kind of images are being captured, what we're finding as far as places to stay, hotels and things like that, conditions, crowds, all those things. So again, be sure to subscribe to the video here and subscribe to the blog also so you can track the trip. And just like always, be sure to get out and capture the adventure.